The Archbishop of Canterbury, the symbolic head of the Anglican Communion, the primate of all England, the Metropolitan Archbishop for the 30 dioceses in the province of Canterbury, covering the southern two-thirds of England, and finally, the Ordinary to the Diocese of Canterbury itself. Now, I have a policy of not covering current events in my videos, but given the fact that while I compiled my first video, there was going to be the pending announcement of whom the next Archbishop of Canterbury is going to be, I felt it was only fair to explain the process of his election. The Church of England is unique amongst the 38 member churches of the Anglican Communion as it is an established church, which means its functions, including the selection of its bishops, are tied to the British state, namely the British Crown. Therefore, the full process of filling the position of Archbishop of Canterbury is rather complicated and can be seen on this chart. Upon the death, resignation, or retirement of the Archbishop of Canterbury, the Crown Nominations Commission, or CNC, is called together. The commission will be headed by the chair, who is appointed by the British Prime Minister. The commission will also have 6 representatives who were previously elected to serve 5-year terms. The House of Laity and the House of Clerics, both part of the Church's General Synod, and both elected by the clerics and laity of the Church, have previously elected 3 representatives to serve on the commission. The third component of General Synod, the House of Bishops, will elect 1 or 2 of its members to fill spots in the commission. The Archbishop of York would normally fill one of these spots, however, he can decline, which allows him to be considered a candidate for the position. A second bishop will then be elected to the commission. 6 representatives, 3 clergy and 3 lay, will be elected from the Vacancy in See Committee of the Diocese of Canterbury, which itself is created by a mixture of elections and appointments from the Diocesan Synod. The Commission's final voting member is a primate of one of the other members of the Anglican Communion, who will be elected by the Standing Committee of the Anglican Communion. In addition, the Commission has 3 non-voting members: the Secretary General of the Anglican Communion, the Prime Minister's Appointment Secretary, and the Archbishop's Secretary for Appointments. Over the course of several months, the Commission will meet to discuss possible candidates. However, the full process of how the Commission considers candidates and how it comes to a final decision is unknown, as there is a veil of secrecy to whom they have considered and at what point they are in the process at any one time. What we do know are a few limitations on who can be considered. Since the new Archbishop of Canterbury will be an ex officio member of the House of Lords, the upper chamber of Parliament, British law requires that he must be a British, Irish, or Commonwealth citizen. In terms of canonical law, however, it does not appear there are many limitations as one might think. Candidates don't appear to require any previous experience as a bishop. The last person not to have been a bishop was John Tillotson in 1691. 2 previous archbishops, St. Thomas Becket and Reginald Cardinal Pole, were both deacons at the time of their elections. There is also a canonical age restriction of being between 30 and 70 years of age. Finally, the Commission will come to a selection on 2 names: a primary selection and a secondary selection in case an issue arises with the primary. The names are then forwarded to the British Prime Minister. Until 2007, the Prime Minister could pick one of the candidates over the other, but this is no longer the case as this has been done for him. By convention, the Prime Minister will recommend the selection to the Queen, who, by convention, will approve of the candidate. She will then offer the position to the candidate, who will then be named Archbishop Designate. However, we are still not done as there is still the actual election of the bishop. The Queen, being Supreme Governor of the Church, will summon the College of Canons of Canterbury Cathedral, a group of clergy and laymen serving in the cathedral and the Diocese of Canterbury. The Queen will then give them Conge de l'air. Did I get that right?
Conge de l'air.
Close enough. Conge de l'air, that is, leave to elect the Archbishop Designate. The canons will then assemble in the cathedral's adjourning chapter house, pray on the decision that has already been made, and let the Holy Spirit
Veni Creator Spiritus
bring them to elect the Archbishop Designate. Finally, it is required that the election be confirmed by yet another commission, this time a commission of diocesan bishops who were selected by the House of Bishops. The Archbishop-elect then pays homage to the Queen, and then is enthroned at Canterbury Cathedral in the chair of St. Augustine to become His Grace, the Most Reverend and Right Honourable, the Lord Archbishop of Canterbury.